Hi, my name is Megan Edwards of Focus Communications, and today we're getting the first update of the year from Patrick Highsmith, President and CEO of Timberline Resources. Now, Timberline trades on the OTCQB under the symbol TLRS and the Toronto Stock Exchange under the symbol TBR. Patrick, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Megan. It's good to be here.
Now, for new listeners, can you give us a brief overview of Timberline's Eureka Gold project in Nevada?
Absolutely. Timberline is a pure play gold explorer in Nevada, Megan, and our flagship project, as you say, is the Eureka project just outside of the town of Eureka, Nevada. We have a huge land position here, the biggest land position in the district at about 70 square kilometers. Ourselves and I-80 Gold Corp at the northern end of this image actually dominate the Eureka district. And we're really exploring in the same rocks as our sort of big brothers at I-80 Gold there. We're exploring in the Eureka Gold Belt here. This is a Carlin type gold district, but Eureka has a history of being a world-class silver district. And I-80 Gold has been announcing some real zinger silver intercepts as well. And Timberline also has some silver potential on this property that we'll probably be doing some more exploration on later in 2023. However, as I'm sure you're going to ask me, we're going to focus inside this red block right here today, discussing some drill results that have just come in from mostly around the water well zone in the sort of western central portion of the Eureka project.
And this week, the company announced the final results from the 2022 drill campaign. Could you walk us through these results?
Absolutely. As I said, this is really a small portion of our property here that we've announced these results from. However, we did conduct about 6,700 meters or so of exploration drilling during the year, and we announced those results, the final results of that program just yesterday, I guess it was. And all the drilling we're going to discuss was focused around the so-called water well zone in this area and a little bit of a step out to the south, as well as the Oswego target right in here. So a very small percentage of the property, but of course, a lot of the audience will remember we've been drilling some great gold at the water well zone. And this map sort of zooms in a little bit inside that red block to show you the area we're talking about. And the results today, yesterday that were announced, come from the southern part of the water well zone, a big step out zone over here. And there's the Oswego target about 1.5 kilometers away. Now, if you look closely at the results, you can see that all of the holes in the water well zone that we announced were actually offsets from a really exciting hole we drilled last year, BHSE 212, which sits right here, a nice 40-meter run of over 5 grams per ton gold there. And what we did is we offset that to the east, to the north, and to the south, and to the west. And we also did another step out hole to the west over there. Each of the holes did hit significant gold, we're happy to say. However, you could see that these intercepts weren't as high grade as we've typically seen in this part of the water well zone. So what we learned from this, Megan, is in hole 225 and hole 241, we drilled very long runs, 26 to 29 meters of just under 1 gram to a bit over 1 gram per ton. Nice zone. It was where we expected it to be. It was at the base of the Dunderberg formation where it has a contact with the Hamburg. And within that, there was some higher grade mineralization. As you can see in hole, we hit a couple of higher grade intercepts up to 2 and 3 grams per ton in that area. 231 and 241 had narrower runs, but with a little bit better grade. I'm just going to go to a cross-section view here. And what we're doing is we're zooming in to slice through the earth here, the southern end of the water well zone. And as a reminder, there's a resource to the west of us that comes to surface here. We call that the Lookout Mountain resource. And this contact at the base of the Dunderberg and top of the Hamburg continues out to the east. And this is the water well drilling stuff that we're talking about right now. It's between 250 and 310 meters below surface in this part of the property, cored by this nice high-grade interval I mentioned in 212, where we had 41 meters of 5 grams per ton there right in the center of the slide. Now, these lower grade intercepts you can see on either side of it and just to the north of it continue to demonstrate that the zone is present, Megan. It's mineralized everywhere we hit it, but what we appear to have encountered in this area is a lot of faulting there. And if you look closely, you can see some crazy jumps up and down in the top of the Hamburg Formation shown there in purple and the bottom of the Dunderberg shown in green. And that's because the faults had moved that around, Megan. And in doing so, they pinch out the high grades sometimes, they thicken it other times. And of course, frustrating life of a geologist in Nevada. However, we're really happy to have the big takeaway being the zone's still present. And by the way, still robust and wide open to the east over in this area and down into the heart of this valley here where this big IP anomaly, this big geophysical anomaly waits for us. I'll just go back here and show that in a map view. You can see here this big gray blob in the middle of the slide is an IP chargeability anomaly, suggesting some rocks down there that can be charged with electricity. They might be pyrite, they might be carbon, both of which are ingredients in Carlin-type gold deposits. So the big takeaway from the water well zone, the zone's still present. It's lower grade in these particular holes, but we have high grade in the vicinity. We know it's chopped up with a lot of faulting, kind of typical in Carlin-type gold deposits. And we'll be hitting the water well zone again in 2023 for sure. And then lastly, I'll just point out that we also reported over here at the Oswego target to the east side, about 1.5 kilometers away. The holes over there were really confusing. We did not hit the same thickness or grade that we had encountered at surface there and in the first round of shallow drilling. So right now we're trying to piece that jigsaw puzzle together to figure out where that high-grade zone at Oswego goes. And as of now, those 3 widely spaced holes did not enhance the target at Oswego. And we're going to have to figure out where to go next at Oswego.
And what about testing other targets? Eureka is a massive target area with multiple trends throughout. Can we expect to see some exploration in some of the other targets in 2023?
Absolutely. I've just touched on a couple of them. We will be announcing some, I hope to be announcing some additional property acquisitions that are currently under negotiation. And remember, we've drilled into a bit of silver, silver lead zinc mineralization nearby to the water well zone, adjacent to that IP anomaly I mentioned. And there is silver elsewhere on the property as well. And just like we're seeing with I-80 gold to the north, we expect to be able to test both gold and silver targets and see if we can advance both of those things towards discovery during 2023. So I expect to see our work focus probably in 2 or possibly 3 target areas during this year, Megan.
And before we let you go, what are the upcoming catalysts that our listeners can expect from Timberline Resources going forward?
This wraps up the drilling results, which we've been waiting to get done. As I said, stay tuned. We'll probably be announcing in the first quarter any of the new properties that we might have been able to pick up, just little bits and pieces within this huge land position we already have or adjacent to it. Hope to be announcing some news on that in the first quarter. And we'll also be giving a likely projection of our exploration program for the remainder of the year during the first quarter. And we'll, of course, be at the PDAC conference in Toronto in March. Looking forward to meeting with a lot of folks there.
Very exciting. Thank you so much for your time today, Patrick.
Thank you. It's good to be with you.